Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I am Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And this episode, not specifically week, because who knows how many we're going to have.
It is. It's kind of a wheneverly podcast.
Yeah.
We update wheneverly.
So this episode, we are going to be watching episode number 10 on the DVD set, because they're all out of order everywhere else.
Who knows what it is on Netflix? I was on the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1 Netflix page, and it was all wacky. So I don't know if you're watching.
We'd say it's out of order, but I don't know what the real order is.
Wikipedia and the DVD set are the same.
They line up
so far.
So
I'm assuming that's what it is.
That's the canon timeline.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's the episode is Happy Birthday, Zack. It aired September 16th, 1993. And I actually remember who the bad guy is in this one.
I don't remember anything about this.
I think I remember the whole plot of the maybe not like all the things that happened, but like I think I know.
I'm going into this blind.
Well, which
is weird because I've watched the whole series.
Yeah, I was reading some like
space.
titles coming up because it was on Netflix. And I was like, "What is that? What is that? What is that? Who are these people? What is that thing?"
That's kind of a side effect of watching 10 episodes a day.
Yeah,
is that they're not distinct.
Watching 10 episodes in a row was a light Power Rangers day for me.
Yeah,
when I first got the Shut Factory Super Box set.
And I try to limit it to 4, but sometimes I just don't have anything better to do on any given day. So
I killed 7 episodes of Megaforce the other day. Just because I was like, I'm almost done.
I think the most I've done in a day was like a 4-hour sitting.
Yeah.
Which is like...
I did like 8 once.
Yeah.
And then
that's like a whole season.
But by the end of it, you're like, my eyes feel like they're bleeding, but I don't think they are. Anyway, we're going to jump in now. We're going to go watch... We're going to pause. If this is your first time listening, welcome. What we do here is we're going to pause the recording. We're going to go watch the episode in question, Happy Birthday, Zack, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it, and we're just going to see what happens from there.
Also, if it's your first time listening, this is a pretty good, episode 10 is a pretty good point to point this out, is that the episodes in the store are out of order, so listen to them numerically, not as they're listed.
Yes, that's why I specifically put them in... put the number of the episode of our episode in the title, because a podcast that we listen to called the Attitude Era Podcast, it's about wrestling, but their first 4 episodes are in backwards order, and so I was like, I don't know how that can happen.
That's how our first 5 are.
That's what happened to us.
Yep.
Because Feedburner is a weird guy.
What happened was we had a little bit of information we needed to add to the description of the episode, so updating it backwards
threw it all out of whack,
mixed it up in the iTunes store. Anyway, we're gonna pause the recording, we're gonna watch Happy Birthday, Zack, and we're gonna be right back.
It's Morphin time. Then we're back. We just watched Happy Birthday, Zack. And we have a lot to say about it.
So the first half, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the monster fight is just a monster fight. We'll probably glaze right over it. There's one thing that's weird.
I do have some weird things about it that I want to talk about, but that's later.
Yeah, but like, this is a good episode for the people, like, in terms of like character development and all that.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. But you know that because you just watched it with us, right?
Yes. That was everybody.
That was everyone?
That was everyone.
Thanks for agreeing, everybody. Before we get to the episode, though, here are some places that you can hang out with us online. You can go to morphingrid.tumblr.com. That's where all of our episodes are, and soon to be more stuff. Who knows? But it's definitely up, and there's definitely the episodes without any show notes. But if you don't like downloading, if you don't like iTunes, you can get the MP3s there. It's a pretty cool guy. So there's that place. You can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter at morphingrid. And that's it.
That's all of them.
That's all the places. So let's jump into the episode, because I got notes.
I realized this while we were watching this episode, and you were typing away, and I was just sitting there. You're the play-by-play guy.
You're color.
I'm color.
Yep. I've noticed that
because I don't really remember anything until you mention it, and then I'm like, oh, I wanted to say this.
I'm JR.
You're Jim Ross, and I'm Jerry Lawler.
You can be any Jerry Lawler you want to be.
I don't really want to be any of them.
Equally terrible for different reasons. But anyway, on to the episode. So it starts off with that shot of like the Juice Bar's logo. Like there's like here's where they are, and then it goes into the logo, and it's really dark. Like physically, like there's not enough light, and we were wondering about it.
Yeah, I almost made a joke while we were watching it that later ended up being true. Like I thought they just didn't have their white balance set, so it looked really gray.
Right.
But I was like, oh, it's dark because it's nighttime. Turns out, it's nighttime.
It was nighttime. Also, there's no white balance on a film camera.
Listen, I was only in a broadcasting major for a little while.
It's a digital only thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I should have paid more attention.
Probably. Well, I mean,
I switched, so who cares?
You switched, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna
so then there's a shot of the Cake-O-Matic, which is Billy's latest invention. And if I didn't know for a fact that Billy invented it, I would say that this was made by the same person who made the Monster-Matic. But it's not.
It's not.
Because Billy made it. And it's a cake machine, you might guess.
Before we go to that, the outside shot, there's some kicking jams.
There were
playing,
some
right?
jams from that group.
That group that makes the music.
This music.
But we thought it was going to cut to Zack, jamming out.
Yeah, I even said, you didn't see it, Josh just did a weird pop and lock deal.
It was a good pop and lock.
You're lucky that you're only listening to this. But yeah, I even said, I was like, oh, what do you want to bet Zack's dancing? And he wasn't. Twist.
Billy was dancing.
What? He had a cassette Walkman.
We have a new segment, maybe, and I don't know if I want to drop it now or not.
Not just yet.
Okay.
I have a place
I do have
written
something
down.
I want to say that's really headcanon-y.
Yeah,
about this particular moment.
Okay,
but
put a pin in it, because
right.
I'd have a place in my notes where there's like a pretty headcanon-y. That segment works right there. The Cake-O-Matic is spitting out shaving cream. Like 1 million gallons of shaving cream. Like kids, don't do this. Don't listen to what I'm about to say. But like, you ever put a can of shaving cream in the freezer?
No.
And then you cut it open and it's frozen, and then you put it somewhere, and when it thaws, it doesn't explode, but it like expands.
And it just comes out.
It becomes huge.
No, I've never done that.
You've never done that? I have. A friend of mine and I were in a prank war, and I won.
Did you leave it like in
her car?
In her car.
But anyway, Cake-O-Matic. It's spitting out shaving cream, and Ernie is like, "Oh God, what do I do? Why is there so much shaving cream in this Cake-O-Matic?" And it reminded me of like a Jetsons cartoon where they put too much dish or laundry soap into the laundry machine, and it went all haywire, and there's flooding out.
There's just soap suds forever.
But because Billy is dancing to his Walkman, and so he doesn't even hear.
It is a Walkman because it's the 90s.
I've recently become kind of obsessed with tape Walkmans. And like I want them back, but I don't. I want a cassette to hold as much as my iPod does, but I want it to be a cassette.
Oh man, there's a market then for like a Walkman that you can plug an iPod into where the cassette would go.
Yes, 1,000.
And it makes all the same
penny.
And it's Bluetooth, so the big chunky buttons on the side like
do stuff.
You press them and it actually plays.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Patent pending.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
So, Billy, Trini and Kimberly are like, Billy, for Christmas' sake, go over there. Look at all this. And so he's like, oh no, I guess I need to recalibrate it. Meanwhile, Ernie is drowning in this
He's
cake.
sitting. He's on the floor, leaning on the counter. His shaving cream drips on him. He's got this look on his face when Billy finally comes over. He's like, "Dude, come on."
I think my favorite is, I hate machines. I hope that tracks to Zeo. I hope he's super angry about the Zeo baddies because they're machines.
He's not gone until Turbo, right?
As far as I remember.
I don't really remember.
But anyway, so we're jumping into our formerly only segment, but now we have two, and later we're going to have another one, but we're going to save that till after Green with Evil.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a mess. But what was Kimberly wearing this episode? Part 1.
What?
Yeah, part 1, because she does this multiple changing things that the others do, like for the second part, but there are 3 parts to this.
While we're talking about clothes, this is gonna be a little bit Mighty Morphin / Megaforce cast until I'm done.
Oh, for Christmas sakes, yeah.
The Megaforce Rangers
Never change.
They change when they're working out. They have their regular clothes and their workout clothes.
And
that's it.
Emma has pants on in the opening for like 1 split second, but I don't know what episode it's from.
Anyway.
Yeah, so she's wearing this huge shirt. It's like a purple shirt with like a flower pattern, like really tiny flowers and like sort of a dot pattern. And she got a pink shirt and jean shorts and her Doc Martens. And it's amazing because they're jean shorts. It looks really good. And
I want to say while we're talking about this, because you died when she like ran away and hopped up on the counter.
Yes.
Is this that much later? No, it's before. It's before Bulk and Skull, which I have a lot to say about that too. And by a lot, I mean I have one specific point I want to say.
Yeah, I have a thing too.
But they're sitting there painting Zack's birthday banner on the ground.
Yeah.
And Trini's like, Kim, get back to work. So she runs over and sits on the counter.
Oh yeah, well because
her job is just to be pretty.
She is great at it. She's hired. In fact, I'd like to give her promotion. But she jumps up onto the counter, sits crisscross applesauce up there, and I don't know.
This is the Morphin Grid starring me because Jake is dead.
Because I'm dead. Because apparently my type is Kimberly. Yeah, so I'm dead now. See you later.
That's the end of the Morphin Grid because I can't do this alone.
You don't even take notes.
Hey, we're back, and I gotta go watch it again real quick because I forgot.
It would just be you on your phone recording yourself watching it.
Right, and just cutting out the dead air between my comments. That would be terrible. No one would listen to that.
No one would listen to that. Anyway, they're talking to... Jason comes in shortly after this. And this is after the juice bar is closed because they're getting it ready for Zack's surprise party.
Right, because it's at night.
Because it was so dark at the beginning.
They closed the aperture. Can you do that on a film camera?
Yes.
They did
that's where that comes from.
Because it didn't look like they were shooting at night. It looked like they were shooting gray.
No, it looked like they just put on like an ND6 filter.
I bet.
It's a filter that cancels out sunlight to make things darker.
Okay.
So like...
And they did that when their only light was sunlight?
Yeah. And so, because basically, like, if you close the aperture, less sunlight gets in, but, like, it sees farther. Like, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff you can do with it. But if you put an ND filter on, it cancels out sunlight, but you can still keep the aperture open. So, like, it gets a different, different stuff gets in.
Right.
So, like, there's just things you can do. Film, you guys!
But that's good that you are, like, a film guy. Because we would be a little bit boring.
A little.
So during some time, if you didn't know all this stuff, I'd be like, "Hey, that looks like the white balance was off, and it's a film camera," and I would have sounded like an idiot.
Yep. Jason comes in, and Ernie starts talking about the Power Rangers, and Jason's like, "Who are the Power Rangers?"
But I feel like in another episode we talked about how Ernie figured it out.
He does, but not yet. He hasn't yet.
I thought we talked about him knowing.
Earlier it seemed like he might have. But maybe he hasn't yet, and maybe it was filmed out of order, and we don't know.
Right. Or he's just like, I don't know. Guys, don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah, maybe he just tries down. So he says, yeah, the superheroes run around with dinosaurs. How does he know they're called dinosaurs? Did the Power Rangers do a press conference?
Did he say dinosaurs or did he say giant metal dinosaurs?
He said dinosaurs.
Look, I don't know.
I know. I'm just saying, like, because
there must have been like an interview with the Power Rangers. That's what I'm saying.
Like there was like an off-camera press conference where they're like, "We are the Power Rangers. We fight Rita. These are our dinosaurs. This is the Megazord."
Or anybody who's within earshot
of Jason, just screaming, "We need dinosaur power now!" April O'Neil was like, "Oh man, I got news.
They're dinosaurs.
I'm moving to New York after this, you guys. Blow us wide open." So, and then he says they're gonna do for Angel Grove what Batman does for Gotham. That's what Ernie said. So, does Batman exist in the Power Rangers universe?
I don't know if he meant Batman the person or Batman the character.
Because the way he said it was Batman is real and he is protecting Gotham City. Bulk and Skull enter. And they enter with Bulk holding Skull by the nose and like pulling it up.
Just pulling him in.
Like he's Daniel Bryan trying to get Seth Rollins to lean back a little bit for the surfboard. And like he's just got, and then he like number one, there's got to be a closed sign. Maybe Jason knocked it down because he just came in. So like that's how we'll put that there to get them in. But they come in and they are genuinely mean.
Even if there was a closed sign, if the lights were on and they were like, "What's going on?" and the door was unlocked, they would have. Skull would have just walked in.
Yeah, but they are being genuinely mean.
This is a very dark bullying segment.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, like. Because they grab, and Ernie does nothing about it.
No, he's showered because he's got his hair slicked back and a towel on.
He's got a towel on. Because there's a shower right outside.
There's a shower. Well, it's the youth center. There's a lot of workout stuff. I imagine there's showers there.
Yeah, no, well, I know there is because of the Big Sisters episode where the 40 adult men
came running out of the shower.
When the 1993 San Francisco 49ers came out of there. But yeah, like they're no, like they pull the banner that they made and Bulk just blows his nose on it and like Skull grabs it first from Trini.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, after we have a little fun," and then she pushes him into paint cans. But like they're being like rotten, like they're being bad people, and it's weird.
Skull was a little rapey with Trini.
He was a little bit.
I can't sugarcoat it.
I'm trying to think of a better word, but rapey is it. little bit of a predator, maybe. Like I don't know how else to say. He's being a not good dude.
He's being a creep.
He's being a creep. Yes. Yes, he is. And then Kimberly, who's still sitting on the counter, has a balloon that she's tying off because she's tying off balloons. That's what she's doing because she's like, I don't want to paint anymore. I'm sick of this.
Get back to work.
It might get on my shirt. I'll make balloons. So she says something, and he's like, and then he just grabs the balloon and lets it go. And then, like, Jason's right behind, because Jason was hidden for a minute.
Right.
So he could make this sweet entrance. Because Bulk, like, turns, and Jason's there. He's like, maybe someone should let the air out of you. And then he runs at Jason. Jason sidesteps him. And he just slams his nog right into this
bar.
This brass weight supporting beam, I guess. Falls into all the balloons that Kimberly's made. Pops them all, I guess.
Not all of them. But enough of them.
Some of them were ruined.
Were very ruined.
And then Skull gets up and like charges Jason. Jason steps out and Skull hits another one.
Jason Narvey ran into that pole.
And I'm sure that it's like a fake one. Like it's maybe just a cardboard tube.
He still beamed his nog on that pole.
The whole front of his face, he hit on it. It looked not fun. And then Zack comes in after...
Well, Skull's not done yet, because while he's dazed, he sees Billy and, like, concussionly runs at Billy, who sidesteps, and then Skull dives into the cake-o-matic and gets shaving cream all over him. That would have been a terrible cake.
Yes. What is this cake made out of? What is this machine doing to this cake that makes it explode with 1,000 gallons of shaving cream? Billy, come on. This is a bad prototype.
Does the world really need a cake-o-matic?
I don't think so.
Isn't a cake-o-matic just an oven?
And also, yes. That's all it is. Just, you have a batter. And
but there's like a blender on top of the...
Maybe just pour it in and then it like shoots it down into the...
pour the ingredients into the blenders.
And then it puts it into a pan. But like, this is for one of your best friend's birthday party, and you invented wireless communicators that fit on your wrist. Like, you couldn't take a minute to work the kinks out of a cake-o-matic.
Teleport you by accident.
Then you made a car that goes 3,000 miles an hour. You couldn't take a minute on the cake-o-matic. Too busy making out with Trini. So we go up to Rita, and she's like, "Oh, it's Zach's birthday. Let's give him a present. Blah, give me the nasty night." Which I know for a fact it is spelled canasty.
Canasty
night. And so he's in the book. Also, Goldar's asleep against the wall.
Yeah. Goldar's sitting on those couple of steps that go down and around, and he's just, like, leaned against the wall, like, I'm getting too old for this.
What I thought was, when we went to get tattoos and you were dead, because you had, like...
He got space flu.
He got space flu. And then, he's just like, guys, call me later. I need to sleep this one off. So she's like, give me the canasty night, and they open up this book with the drawings in it.
It's it's Finster's Monster Catalog.
Yeah. And they said, oh, this is great, we used him on Tarmac 3.
Right.
And
he made space dust of their finest warrior.
Yeah. So Tarmac 3 is a planet that Space Knight was used on. So this must have been 10,000 years ago.
They also say, and I'll bring this up later because there's a weird scene, but they also Finster's working on it, and they show Finster crafting a monster with clay, and he's like, "I'm already working on it, Rita."
And then they
put it. So just keep in mind that he's working on a clay monster.
He's working on a clay nasty night, presumably. He's working on a clay monster for the nasty night. Go back down into our new segment. Okay, their celebrity couple name is Trilly.
Yes.
It's Trini and Billy.
It's Trini and Billy.
The other one is Beanie. Which I also like.
I don't like it because it's mostly Trini.
You're right. I agree.
Whereas Trilly is a good mix
in the middle. Yeah. So this is welcome to Trilly Watch.
You're gonna do that every time because we can just cut the segment.
Nope, doing it every time. So my note for Trilly Watch does not incorporate anything that came before, but he's just like, he says in Billy speak, "I like your drawings," and then he goes, he just walks away.
He's like, he does say it in like I don't even know what word
he uses cartoon, maybe.
He doesn't. He's like some kind of like exaggerated figure or something. Like
yeah, and then Jason's like, "What do you say?" And
Kim's like, "Don't look at me. I don't speak Billy.
I don't speak nerd." Anyway, so what's your Trilly Watch thing from earlier?
It's it cuts from the outside shot to Billy dancing, right? And he dances by Kimberly and Trini just kind of like giggles and shakes her head like he does this all the time.
You guys are seeing this for the first time, but who boys, this is what I deal with. She loves every minute of it. This concludes the first episode of Trilly Watch because there's really
there's more to your part too that you didn't say because he's like he talks in Billy speak and then I don't speak Billy and she's just like, "Oh, he says I'm good at drawing cartoons. Thanks, Billy." Which was almost what she said, like she was gonna say, "Thanks, hun."
Yeah, and then she cut it off. It was also like super casual too, like
yeah,
like she just.
And also, Trini's the only one that can translate for Billy because she's the only one who spends enough time with him to know what the heck he's talking about.
To get through osmosis. So this is this it for Trilly Watch?
That's all I've got. Yep.
This concludes the first Trilly Watch.
Oh, I also want to point out that Billy said that he really liked Trini's drawing as Trini was making a whole new banner because the other one was full of bulk snot.
Yes. Rude. I think...
Oh, no, we go back to the school now.
No, we're not at school. We're still at Ernie's.
We're still at Ernie's.
Yep. Zack is coming.
Right.
Ernie
Okay.
is outside throwing trash away or something. And he's like, I just saw him. And so, like, we cut to fast motion with them, like, totally clearing everything away, including the Cake-O-Matic. And they all hide behind the bar. Mm-hmm. And then Zack comes in and he's like, hey.
And Ernie pulls out a bowl of popcorn that he's had waiting just for this particular occasion.
He'll definitely believe it now. I got this popcorn. What did I make this?
Because Ernie, when the juice bar is closed, he's just there eating popcorn.
Well, he has some work to catch up on. He's got his stack of papers. He's got his popcorn.
This is such a great scene. And I don't know if it's intentional or if Ernie just read the script. Was like, that's stupid. I'm gonna make it. Stupid.
I'm gonna oversell it.
Yeah.
So Zack comes in. He's like, "Hey, Ernie, where's everybody?" And or why you open late? He's like, "Oh, just catching up on some paperwork, on some stuff." And he's like, "Oh, Trini's mom said that everyone would be down here." And he's like, "Nope, just me."
Well, before that, he says just me. Like before, Zack says, "I think everyone's here," because he's like, "Hey, Ernie, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just here. It's just me, though. Don't worry about it."
And they said he says it's just me like a dozen times.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to sell that he is completely alone there, and they're not planning a surprise party for him, which we'll get to in a minute.
There's one part that I want to basically just say what happens, but I'll let you keep going because we might come to it. So,
okay.
If we don't, I'll go back.
So then Zack's like, okay, I guess I'll go.
No, you skipped over everything. Okay, look. Because they talk a little bit more, like, because they're buds, so they just have, like, a conversation, right? And it comes up again, like, where do you think they might be? And he's like, well, they're not here, as you can see. It's just me, my papers, my popcorn, a couple of chairs. And Zack's like, I get it. And Ernie's like, yeah, you get it.
You get it.
That's my favorite part. Because Ernie's just playing it the coolest.
Yeah, he's being super suave. He's being Rico Suave about this. Kids, Rico Suave was a song from the 90s.
Look it up. And then
marvel
you'll never be the same.
And then whenever someone says music from the 90s was the best, show them Rico Suave. Because I like it, but only because any 90s one-hit wonder is my favorite song. So now we go to the woods.
Yes.
Where Finster and Babu and Squat is supervising. But Finster and Babu are taking turns smacking this piece of metal.
They're forging a mythical blade.
Right, but what it looks like is they are smacking a piece of metal with hammers.
That's how you make a sword.
Well, no, it's not. Not this sword, anyway. Because what you need for this sword is for Rita to cast a spell on it.
But it also needs to be forged.
But they just made a flat piece of metal. So anyway, she casts a spell on the sword.
He even holds it up at one point. He's like, almost there. And it's like the worst thing. It's like rusty on one side.
Well, it's scorched because they keep putting it in fire.
Right.
And then dipping it in water so the carbon builds up. And it's just a piece of metal. It's not sword metal. It's just metal.
Right.
So then Rita comes down, and they're like, oh, look, it's done. We just need you to do that spell. And so she casts this spell, which is a pretty neat spell. I don't really remember it, but I really like the flow of it.
Like, her casting spells is a thing I never caught as much before.
I don't know how far it goes, because I like it.
I like it, too.
And I want it to keep going, because it's neat. Because she's a witch. She's a space witch.
Right.
And she went to a whole school just to learn how to be
an
evil space
bad.
Witch. Evil Space Witch High coming this fall on the CW.
It should be Evil High, because Diva Talks isn't necessarily a witch. She's a pirate.
Evil Space High.
Evil Space High. I accept your terms.
Okay. So then she casts this spell, Also, this is a very special sword with very magic powers. It can cut through anything. It can
do other
it's
stuff.
It's just bad dudes hold this sword, and it's not good for anybody, I guess. So she casts a spell. It turns into a regular sword, like a good-looking sword. And then it breaks open this, like, coffin monolith thing. And then Canasty Knight steps out. So what was Finster carving?
Not Canasty Knight.
Maybe he was like, I got something planned. And he's like, but I got to finish this because it's been bugging me. Like, I have this idea, and I just need to get this monster out first.
Maybe. I'll buy that.
Because the way I see
he
Finster...
just goes in the monster bucket.
Finster is Geppetto. Finster is very obviously Geppetto, right? He makes these things, and then they come to life once a witch casts a spell on it. I know it's a blue fairy that makes Pinocchio real, but...
Right.
Like, he's a monster Geppetto.
Yeah.
And so he's super into this craft of sculpting clay. And so, like, maybe sometimes he's like, oh, that's going to be cool. I just got to do that. And, like, he can't think about anything else until he gets it out of him. And so he's like, yeah, no, Nasty Knight, definitely, totally going to do that. But first, it's like a duck, but not. And I got to, like, it's hard to explain. You'll have to see. And then he has to finish carving it. So then we go to school. Now we are in school. And something amazing happens. My favorite side character, the sneering babe, returns.
Is back for a hot second.
For 1 second. She smiles and waves at Kimberly.
If she makes a third appearance, Sneering Babe Watch is going to be a segment.
Yes, because here's the thing. Judy and Tyrone, never seen again.
No.
I looked it up. They are in those 2 episodes. Tyrone's in the 1 episode. Judy, whose name is Shark, in case you guys were wondering.
I like Judy.
I like Judy better. Tyrone has no name, except for what we call him, which is Tyrone. Which is from my favorite joke from Gravity Falls. Go check it out. Double Dipper, episode 7. I think that's important. So then, what was Kimberly wearing part 2? She's wearing a jean jacket, a pink choker, a pink headband, and like this super cute floral dress, sundress.
Yeah.
Which, the fastest way to murder me with good looks is a floral print sundress. And I didn't know that's what she was wearing at first because we had to rewind because it shows for like 1 second her upper body
runs to her locker,
and then the rest of the scene is like a medium shot from like her chest up of her talking to Zack, and that's it. So I was like, I don't know what she's wearing out of that. And then later there's a part 3, and then she's wearing the dress, so we'll just skip the part 3 later. And she's wearing like pink kind of slippers.
I didn't see her feet, so I don't know.
They're not Doc Martens. They're shoes that you could dance in easily. You know, they're dancing shoes. Because you can't... I mean, you can dance in Doc Martens.
If the 90s taught us anything.
Yes, if there's anything is real, it's that you can dance in Doc Martens. But she dances in these cute little pink slipper deals. So then Zach's like, hey, do I look any older? And she's like, why? Because she has to pretend that she doesn't remember it's his birthday, which is a plot that happens in a lot of shows, and it's always mean.
Right?
Every time.
Why do you hate your friends? This is what I wanted to say. Here's the thing about a surprise party. You can still wish them happy birthday.
Right, you don't have... Because the
idea...
oh,
I'm sorry we can't hang out, man. I'll get you next time. I'm busy tonight. Happy birthday, though. Yeah, not like, oh, you don't mean...
Because that's like a reasonable like mitigation of their expectations. Like, I know it's your birthday, but, you know, bummer. Can't hang out. Can't do anything for your birthday.
Parents, you know?
You know, what are you going to do?
The rents need me to do
They just don't understand.
Take it from me.
Kids, Will Smith used to be a rapper. I like how I say this like there's children listening. I assume there's at least one, maybe, but, you know...
1 out of the 5 people.
The up to 14.
3, because we're 2 of them.
And Jacob.
All right.
So yeah, the let's pretend that I don't remember it's your birthday ploy is awfully mean.
It's cold.
And then, like, the idea, like, the science behind it is, like, you're going to get so bummed that when you have a surprise party, and we did remember, you're going to be overwhelmed with joy. But, like...
but he spends most of the day grumping about his friends.
Like, because if that happened to me,
you know what happened to Zack?
He was attacked by monsters.
But here's what happened. He walks away from Kimberly because Kimberly's like, "Oh, I just remembered it's my poodle's birthday today."
Yeah, she doesn't even say I don't remember, or just plays off like just remember. She specifically says I remembered my dog's birthday, but not yours.
So Zack walks away, right, and he's all grumping. He's all sad. He's not grumping. He's sad.
He's sad. He's
and
depressed.
Then the other three are coming in. They're like, "Oh, hey, Zack." He's just like, "Yeah, right." He leaves school.
He leaves. He ditches his classes.
And he goes and walks alone in the mountains because he's so sad.
Also, he walks away to the saddest version of the Power Rangers theme.
Yes.
They did... Whoever... And it might be Saban, because I know he does the music or did music before. So I don't know if he was personally the one who did it or if he
make
just
it a sad trumpet.
He's just do the saddest arrangement of the Power Rangers theme. And they did, and it was every part of it was just oh God, Zack, don't worry, they really know you did so much work, they remember. So then he goes to the desert, like you said, and
it's more mountainy.
Yes, I feel like it's that the biome change from mountain to desert, and then Rita attacks him.
Yep.
And he morphs really quick, between cuts, because they had to match the footage.
Because he's like, "Oh man, you can't even remember my birthday. That's messed up." And Rita's like, "I remember. Here's Nasty Night."
I got nothing better to do but watch you kids, and I'm gonna attack you with this monster. And so Nasty Night attacks, and he morphs in between, and it's a really good footage match. And since this is kind of Megaforce cast, they have awful footage matches. They are abysmal. Goldar's voice is still wrong.
He only has the one line, the two words,
which is "I'm tan."
Either I'm tan or I can.
I think he says "my turn." I heard "my turn."
I think that's what it's supposed to be, but the voice actor is so atrocious.
It's just "I'm tan."
I'm tan.
First of all, your skin is black and furry, and then you have gold armor. None of you is tan, Goldar. Zordon's like, "Oh crap, Alpha." Zack.
Also, I feel like Zordon's voice
is a little different.
Is off. Are you done? Is this episode over?
I don't know what it's about.
Oh crap, Alpha. Alpha would just be like, "What?
What does that even mean, Zordon?" I threw my back out. I didn't want to.
You threw your back out from laughing.
Okay, should we start over, or do you want to just roll from there?
I don't know. Should I pause it so you can get your bearings?
No, I'll be fine. I'm not going to be fine.
Okay, so what just happened, if you're wondering? I don't know if this is in or not. Jake just died from his own not really that funny joke.
I said something that was super funny to me, I guess. And then, it's like when your head gets too far in front of your knees and you can't stop moving.
I don't know what that is.
Well, you're very tall, so you even out. But when you're shorter, it happens to kids a lot. They'll be walking and their head gets in front of their knees and they can't stop walking.
Stop it. Because then I'm going to start laughing. Stop.
And so, just something happens and you just can't stop it. And that was laughing for a second ago for me for 4 minutes.
Anyway,
so not Jason. Zordon is like, "Alpha, the Rangers are in trouble." Or not the Rangers, just Zack.
Just Zack
is in trouble. Oh God. And then and Alpha's like, "I hate Rita. She's such a pain in the butt." I don't remember exactly what Alpha says.
That's basically that.
So they're like, on the viewing globe, Jason's there, and it's just Jason, but the other Rangers are around him. Trust us, I guess. And he's like, you gotta help Zack. And Jason's like, we will. It's morphin time. It's just super calm. Like, so nonchalant. Then they are teleported, because as we've established, morphing teleports you where you need to be.
Unless it doesn't.
Unless you need to find some power crystals.
Unless you need to drive there in the rad bug first.
Or you need to drive in the rad bug, or there's power crystals that you've had for 3 episodes, or whatever. So they're teleported to where Zack is, and it's sort of like a really quick, regular Power Rangers fight. But they use the pyramid attack where the 2 of them stand on the shoulders of 2 others. I think yellow and pink.
Well, first they attack with their weapons.
And his sword, like,
gunks them up.
Rots them or something.
Yeah.
Like,
so they're useless until they're better next episode.
Yeah, and so Kimberly and Trini, like, backflip onto the other shoulders because they got their gun swords.
The blasters.
The blasters. They have a name, but I don't remember.
They're power blasters.
That's not what
like
Jason
dino
called
blasters
them.
Or something.
I don't remember what he called them. Sword blades? Sword guns? Blade
Battle
blaster?
Blade blaster, maybe?
Blade blaster? I don't remember. Anyway, I used to have one.
Because they also use
sweet.
them as, like, a dagger.
Yeah. They're like
a
quicker sword that they all have. And so I forgot that this was an attack that they do, where they shoot a focal point, and then that shoots at the bad guy.
So did I.
It's like a pyramid, but it's a pentagon.
It's in a bubble.
Yeah, and like you said that they must have used this before because it didn't work this time.
Either they used it before or it's out of order. So the first time that they use it, we're gonna see later.
Right. Who knows? That's probably what happened.
Because I don't remember them using it yet. But maybe they did, and I just don't remember. My memory is not a really good barometer. So
and I spend half of my time taking notes, so like I'm trying to like serial task, like look at this, do a note, look at that, do a note, you know.
Right.
But then that doesn't kill him, obviously. But
no, he's fine.
But then
he's got a nasty shield.
Then Rita just makes him big. Which, by the way, his shield is like, if you Google like Black Knight shield, that's the shield that will probably come up. Like, and that's I feel like that's where the prop department. I mean, they didn't have Google in '93. They had like a book of shields, of night shields.
You got from the library,
or they bought.
There's a building that used to be the internet.
I mean, my nose is a little stuffed because I was laughing so much that I guess I drained into my nose. That's why I sound even worse than usual. So they're fighting, and like they call the power sword. Nasty Knight hits it, gunks that all up, and knocks Megazord down,
and then stomps it.
Yeah,
like
a
brute,
just like it kicks him in the front,
in the mega guts.
And then Zack's like, "Oh man, I figured it out. He's reflecting our energy back at us. So we need to
and he's like short-circuiting the power sword. It made it just a sword."
Yeah. So he's like, we need to reflect the reflected energy back, but put more in.
But with ours too.
Which sounds really stupid. That's a dumb idea, Zack. But it worked. So what do I know?
He's also like, let me get him.
Because he's mad. He wants to. Because his friends.
But like they're in the Megazord, so his energy deferral, like his.
Maybe he just switched seats
like,
with Jason for that.
Maybe
one. He's like, let me hit him with the sword this time, and they don't really. They just motion.
Right. They motion at him
because Megazord runs on Connect
blows up
technology. So you just motion what you want, and sometimes it'll work. Probably won't. So they beat Nasty Knight. The day is saved. They go back to like it's like the foyer of the juice bar. And they're like, what are we doing here? Everything's closed. Where's Ernie? And they walk in with Zack.
Why is it so dark?
Like Zack goes in first, and then like the lights go on. Surprise! Oh my god, you remember? Like I know everything that has this plot of like, oh no, the bad guy, or that doesn't make any sense. My friends forgot about me. They didn't yay party. I don't know. I liked this one because he was like, oh, I thought you guys forgot, and you could still tell that he was kind of a little mad, you know?
Yeah.
For like a second. Then it was like, look at all the girls here. Let's dance. It was like 80-20 girls at that party because, you know, they know what Zack likes. There's like confetti and a band, and they're dancing, and like everyone's a pretty good dancer, and Billy's trying to fix the Cake-O-Matic, which is spitting out shaving
He's
cream again.
slipping on it, and they cut him slipping on the shaving cream into the dance montage.
He's doing basically the same dance Jason is.
Yeah.
But just
Jason.
Jason's pretty good. He's got some moves.
Jason, at one point in this episode, had a red tank top with red jean pants
Yep,
on.
he looked like he was wearing a red onesie. His first outfit was a red, but it had like, it was plaid, but it had like blue and green and orange stripes in the plaid. You know, like the plaid part was made out of that. But that was a hoodie.
Right.
On a red t-shirt.
Just wanted to bring up his red pants because I know you love his red pants so much.
90s, you guys. Yeah, I know. I noticed the red pants.
Red pants are coming back. It's not just a 90s thing anymore.
I know. It's fine if girls look fine in red pants, but like nobody else does. Because girls look good in basically anything as long as like you can make it work for you. But no dude should wear red pants.
But he's the Red Ranger.
Yeah, but like just wear jeans.
He does sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally. So everybody's dancing, and then it just stops on the dancing.
Oh, there's another thing that happens way earlier in the episode with Jason that I just remembered.
What is it?
It's when Ernie sees Zack coming, and Jason's just like playing. He's playing with a party hat, and when he's like, Zack's coming, he stops, and it's like a unicorn horn stuck on his forehead. I like that he's... Like, Jason's a really smart guy, but he's also kind of like a goofy musclehead.
Yeah, he's a little bit dumb. But like
I like that about him.
Because Jason, and this is my big problem with Megaforce, is that Troy is an awful character and an awful actor. Like...
Yeah.
So like he's just like he's this laundry bag that can morph. And Jason kind of starts out that way, like he's the karate guy.
Yeah.
But like he definitely develops.
But he has a personality
in really subtle ways. He develops in like really subtle ways where he's like, oh look, he's, you know, like he was telling jokes earlier in the episode, like we just. When he was like, "Oh, I heard the Power Rangers are aliens, but we got to keep this under our head because we don't want this to get, you know."
Yeah, right.
Like he's being like kind of a funny guy, but then he's got a unicorn, you know, and he has absolutely no fashion sense. And like I feel like he wakes up in the morning and goes, "Red pants, good idea." And then, like Kimberly's like, "Again with the red pants, oh my god!" But that's our episode. That's all I have.
Yeah, they party until the credits.
And they dance and they party. Were Bulk and Skull at the party?
They were not.
Good.
No, because they're mortal enemies still.
Today. They were being awful.
They were the worst. This is the worst they've been so far.
Yeah. Like, even, like, when they tried beating him up at the science fair, like, it wasn't cruel.
Yeah.
Like, they were just being, like, punks, but now they're, like, they were just mean.
It took Trini, like, probably an hour to paint that.
Yeah.
And Bulk just blew his nose. He knew that because Trini was like, "Hey, I spent a lot of time on that." And he was like, "Pfft."
He's like, "Yeah, cool.
Party's over."
Jerks. What a bunch of jerks.
I'm glad that they're not like that.
Forever, yeah. Yeah. All right, so final thoughts on the episode?
It's good.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have nothing to talk about, but
it's actually
then my favorite thing is that when it's really light on the Power Rangers and really heavy on the kids.
Yeah.
You know? Which, when I was a kid, I was like, I don't care about Zack's birthday party. I want to watch them fight monsters.
About Megaforce is that it's not a show about those teenagers. Those teenagers are just there to link together the morph footage. Whereas Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is about those kids. Yeah. This
shouldn't be in the territory that I don't want to go to as far as talking about Megaforce with you. But, like, the show doesn't seem like they're like, let's make a show around, like, here's some footage we have, let's make a show.
Right.
And, like, let's just use that for the cool stuff, entertain kids, whatever. Now they're like, how do we turn this episode of Gosei Ranger into an episode of Megaforce? Not like, how do we take this footage that's left and then make that a show?
Something new out of it.
Make a fun, good show. Because, like, In Space is basically all new footage.
Just
like,
about.
Like, their putties are in one episode. Well, they're in two episodes because they're a simulation in one episode, and then they're a simulation that gets sent into the real world in another.
What are they?
The creepoids. They're like the purple spinny faced things.
Right.
But the putties they use in the show, I say putties, the mooks,
Yeah.
are like those like silver and black and white, like star spaceship looking things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all American footage. So like
Right.
whenever they take that, like whenever they use it not as a blueprint but as like here's fun stuff we can put into an episode,
Right.
as opposed to like
here's a bunch of footage, how can we make a new story around it?
Instead of like yeah, exactly, by doing that instead of going like what can we put in to get to this stuff.
Right.
Happy Birthday, Zack was really fun. I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot.
We're gonna wrap it up because I don't want to have to edit too much.
That's fair.
So, if you want to get in touch with us in some fashion, you can do that by going to either morphingrid.tumblr.com. That is our website. Home base. That's our command center, basically.
Yeah.
You can email us, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter. If you listen to this on iTunes, which odds are pretty okay that you do, leave us a review and a rating. Because we don't have any yet.
We don't have any feedback yet, and we know somebody, at least one person probably, that we don't know is listening.
So if you feel like it, just rate,
just say
and review.
Hey, this is pretty good. 4 stars. That's really all I want. I just want somebody to say something.
Say something, anything at all. So we'll be back next week. This is a Friday episode, so
Is it?
yeah. We'll see you on Monday with a whole new episode that
I don't know. Oh, this is the end of disc 1.
Yes, we are officially starting disc 2 of the Morphin Grid next week. Yeah, we made it to double digits.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up because
We're just rambling now, so it's done.
So until next time.
May the power protect you.
Okay, all right. I'm good. I gotta. What is wrong?